Yes, everyone, welcome back to our channel, Em and Nicky. This is The Real Villain. I don't know why I said your name. Would you like to say your own name?
That's fine.
That's fine?
It's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this in because you guys need to see how professional I am. Right? That was A1. That was amazing. Come on. Yeah.
You want me to do it?
No! No, I don't.
Okay.
Today we are I am so excited that we are reviewing season 1 of Girlfriend. This is a retro review, guys. I got her to watch Girlfriend.
You don't know how excited she was that I was watching?
I got her. If for those who might know me, if you've heard of me on other shows and things that I've done, Girlfriends is one of my favorite shows ever because it's freaking funny and there's so many themes to discuss.
Oh my god.
As I got older, related to it a lot more.
I definitely related.
As I got older, I'm like, oh my goodness, these women. Okay, so we're doing season by season. As you guys know, on The Real Villain, like, this is what we're doing. We're doing seasonal reviews. And I think that if you haven't yet, you should probably share this with people. You should the little like button is important.
Subscribe
is important as well. You know what I mean? But let's get into it.
All right, so here, let me start, because that's your show, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to start by saying, as somebody that I tried to watch Girlfriends previously, I think I'd watched a couple episodes of season 1. I didn't really get into it because it takes me a while to stay focused. Something really needs to grab me for me to stay captivated, because my attention really is probably at ADHD, guys. I'm just saying. So, I was just like, you know what? When she mentioned it, I was like, you know what? It's one of those classic series that I feel like I need to know of, because also, like, there's a lot of references that are being made on social media and things like this. And I was like, you know what? It could be a fun sitcom type of thing to watch. And I love binge watching shows. I really
it's binge worthy.
Yeah, it is. So I was just like, you know what? Let me start it. And I would like to say that I think I started doing like a episode by episode review at first, but I do think that, the first episode made a really good job at establishing the friendship dynamics. For a first episode of the first season of a series, of a show, you don't know the characters and whatever. It was good to establish right away who these characters are, what they stand for, what their relationship with each other is going to be based on, and how we're going to see them, evolving. And I like the theme. It was like, entering your 30s, and I'm like, I'm 29. I can relate. I'm like,
episode 1, she's 29.
Exactly. Episode 1, she's 29. I'm like, wow, what am I doing in my life? Because she's like junior partner, and I'm like, okay, she.
But there are different levels, which I like in the friendships. There's
but
but also Joan. I don't know if it's addressed in the first couple seasons that we're gonna be reviewing so far, but the home was generational. I
thought she bought the house. So.
It was her mom's house. Her grandmother. It was a generational house. But still, her job career is impressive. It is
pretty impressive. No, it's really good. It's really good. So it's pretty much like, establishing like, who is who. So Joan is 29, about to be 30. She's junior partner and she wants a man. That's that. Literally first episode. That's what I wrote. Joan wants a man. William, all I wrote was those little emojis. So, because I love him.
William is hilarious from point 1.
That's just episode 1. That's not bad.
They're joking on her age, on Joan's age, like, because she's like me, she's having a third 25th annual birthday, and I related, like, Joan, yeah, same. But where I don't relate is Joan's obsession with finding a man. The desperateness, although it's makes for great comedy.
Yeah, but it's desperate.
It's just like, girl. Like, so, but also, let's just say this. Episode 1, Tony's already tried.
But that's what I'm saying. That literally, from episode 1, my notes were, Joan wants a man. William is, love him. Tony, money first. That's what I wrote.
Even already trifling. She's dating Joan's ex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So she brings him to some kind of party that Joan is having.
Yeah.
She brings the guy. And I'm like, Tony, like,
and it's the fact that she called, no, because she called Joan. She was like, hey, I'm bringing so-and-so. And Joan was like, yeah, I don't mind.
But she didn't mind.
Also, but that's also problematic.
If you do mind, say that.
That's also problematic. That's also one of the things in their relationship.
But that's the thing, because I feel like they let Toni get away with a lot of things, and Joan is like a people pleaser, and so she's just like, even if she minds, she's just gonna say, "Well, why? Like, why? What's the point of lying? Because this is what teaches her this behavior." Like, I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
But so, was Lynn living with Toni at one point? Because
it's later on in the season. Okay. Later on, not even the season. I think season 2 or something like that. Because at first, I think Lynn lives with...
Yeah, I think she was living with Toni initially after doing some time with Joan.
Yeah, she
moves in literally with Joan again without asking. On episode 1. This is just so it sets up the dynamic like you were saying.
Yeah, it really does.
It's just like, girl, I'm sorry. How old are we? Because here's the... So for those who don't know, the 4 women, and I should have done this in the beginning, but whatever. Joan, played by Tracee Ellis Ross.
Also,
Toni...
Also just practices. Love this woman.
I love Tracee. Like,
so much.
And she played
Desperation really well.
So good. Like, I mean, they're all really good at their roles, but
God,
she carries the show very well. Toni, played by oh my goodness, shoot, I forgot her name.
Well, if you I ain't gonna know.
Oh my God, like I know her. Like, please Google Toni's. She's literally on the Shy right now, and I have it on the Jill Marie Jones, Toni, and then Persia White plays Lynn, and Golden Brooks plays Maya.
Obsessed with Maya.
Love Maya.
Okay.
And fun fact, Maya is the youngest in the crew, but is actually the oldest in real life. It's so funny because she looks so
young.
Lynn, Toni, and Joan have been friends since college. Toni and Joan have been friends since childhood, and Maya, in the last couple years. So, and that makes up our foursome. And of course, William, played by, I don't know the actor's name, child, but let's find out the wonderful actor's name, please. Reggie Hayes. That's true. Reggie Hayes.
Also
amazing.
Obsessed.
Amazing.
Obsessed.
To form this wonderful cast. Now, we see already that Lynn is abusing her friend's niceness. What I do love from episode 1, we see beautiful, successful Black women in different varying degrees. And I say, why is it successful? Is because Lynn, even though that's 55 degrees. She has so much schooling. She's so smart.
She has a psychology degree, some kind of finance or something, admin related degree. Listen, she just don't want to be in the real world, which I understand. I watched this show and I was like, I wouldn't do it the way she's doing it, but I get it.
Well, she's being enabled. So yes, if you're able to do it, for most of us, it's not a choice.
I know.
Like, if my friend could support me, hey friend, what's up? I'm moving in, and you're gonna pay for everything, and clearly, Joan is doing well, and Toni is doing well enough to be able to support another. I cannot. So none of y'all move in with me. So and don't quit your jobs. You know what I mean? Because
you might just eat pasta and beans. You may just eat beans.
Because me, I can't help you. I can't help you. But they definitely let her, do her thing. Toni.
And Maya pretty much, Maya is, she's Joan's assistant. She's, she's married.
She abuses her.
Married with a kid,
had a kid in high school.
Yeah, exactly. Now she's an assistant. She abuses a little bit because she's trying to book her hair appointment.
A little bit?
Yeah, she's booking her hair appointment.
That's okay. Maybe season 1, it's late.
I'm just saying, it's like, but also my thing is, if you have a boss that lets you do stuff like that, I would do it.
Yes, but the thing is, the reason why it's like that is because they're friends, and so now you're blurring friendship and business.
Okay, they could have found another arrangement. She could have found another assistant. She could have found Maya another job. I'm just saying. But hey, they wouldn't be a show.
Maya has some of the funniest lines ever. She when she finds out that what's her name Toni is bringing Joan's ex to the thing, she says hi ho, hi ho. I just think she's so funny. Her timing is great, but Toni is very materialistic, as we know.
I know.
Very.
But I like that.
Season 1, it was unbearable.
And season 1, I just wanted to slap her. I'm just gonna say this, but I like how in further seasons you understand where this is coming from for her character to be like this, and there's people like that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So
what was the second episode, Shop? Because I need to see.
Listen, but that's the thing. So here's the way I did the review. Because I usually binge watch series, for this specific first season, I really watched episode 1 to episode 5 to really take it in. And then episode 5, I was trying to take a few notes of the main themes that, were present in the season. Now remember episode 5, for me, it was like they're trying to like a guy because he likes you and he's stable and he's, according to society, is nice.
Is the toe guy?
Yeah, but he's too nice and he gives you
not the toe guy. The toe guy was the first guy.
It's Marcus. It's Marcus. When he gave her the Joan phone?
Joan phone.
So that's the thing. It's like, and I feel like everybody has seen or lived a version of the whole, like, I'm meeting a guy, he's super nice, he's 100%. Stable. Your friends are like, oh no, but he's nice. Or something like on paper, he's fine, but he gives you the ick. Like, literally everything he does is like, oh my God. And I got that for her so much. But okay. What was episode 2? Because you I don't know. Beside you. No, I have the list beside me.
It's right there.
Are we doing episode by episode?
I just want to see if I'm missing it. What is the description of that?
Okay, episode 2, just say no. Joan.
No, you're not you're on season 2, girl.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Episode 2.
There we go. Okay, yeah. So
a one night stand.
I love this episode because
that's great.
She's trying to have sex with somebody. Joan is me sometimes, because child, but because I have to disclaimer.
Okay.
Joan trying to find somebody for one night stand is hilarious.
It was the most hilarious thing. And it was a whole search.
So it was a search.
It was a whole thing.
The thing is, like, so Davis, the owner of the restaurant that they frequent in season 1, he is. I'm sorry, he's fine.
Davis, love him. Love him.
So he's a restaurant owner, and he kind of likes Joan. He be flirting with her a little bit, and her friends notice that. You know what I mean? He has a crush on her, but apparently he's engaged. But minor detail in sitcom land. So she tries to basically, engage in sexual relations with him. It doesn't happen. She ends up, what was it? She spilled something on her dress. She had to change. Her friends came in, thought that they had sex. Well, but it didn't happen. And she didn't say it didn't happen. She just because she was like, they're so happy. I know they're so happy, but she also one other thing where she could have actually spoken. Like she could have actually, hey, actually it didn't happen. Maybe another time. Da da da. I kind of also wondered why Davis didn't say it right away too. Like when they came in, like, ladies, it's not what you think. Like, but he was just like, oh, I'll let you explain it, and he just walks out. Exactly, because maybe he doesn't want to be there in the conversation. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. So that actually ends up. We're not gonna go episode by episode. We're gonna discuss. No, that's what I'm saying. But I just want to say though, for episode 5, where the guy gives you the ick, and we've all lived this situation like this. In this specific episode, I was looking at the dynamic between Joan and William, and I was just like, here's what I wrote. Also, guys, this is so exciting because she hasn't seen the rest of the show for me. But you already know that I googled the ending for every single character. Yes, I did. God, I don't mind spoilers. Guys, I'm sorry. Who I am. So I'm not gonna do it. I was just telling. I mean, I could do it. You see how she treats me? Like, no, she gets so mad that I don't mind spoilers. It's okay. Like, I just told her yesterday 2 things that bother me about her to the extreme. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, tell him. You want me to tell him? Yeah, tell him. Oh man, tell him. Okay, the first thing is she don't be appreciating Beyonce the way she needs to appreciate. Wow. You know what I mean? Now that Beyonce about to drag me on the internet. My God. I'm like, girl, like the fact that it's like we are like here on so many things, but we like not here on that, and I'm like, girl, like there's so many amazing things that are being done, and I want to share them sometimes. I told you could share them. Anyways, so. And also that thing that she just mentioned. Why on God's green earth would you do that? Would you spoil stuff for yourself as you're watching it? Google the ending. And then I don't do it for everything, but for a lot of things, I like to know like some of the things. And sometimes I already know how it's gonna end, but I just want to make sure that I'm right. And also, I don't know, I don't mind spoilers, okay? It's like I still love her, but it's like, wow. I don't mind spoilers, and a lot of the times people don't know how to explain, like especially when there's a plot twist, people don't know how to explain it on the internet. So I like to see how it's done once it's on camera. Anyways, so you already know what's gonna happen with Joan and William. Yeah. So you already know where Joan ends up. Yeah. You're a maniac, bro. So but so pretty much one of the things that I wrote on that episode is the fact that how they wrote Joan and William's relationship is really nice, but at the same time, for some reason, in Sister, it reminds me of Roger and Sister and how they wrote him, because he's always around, he's always the friend, and it's like
But the difference is that he excuses himself. Sometimes he's just like, oh no, I'm not trying to, and he just exactly. I'm not trying to be in this.
He's more wanted.
Yeah, he's more wanted. That's the only difference. But that's what. That's what popped up in my mind. I was just like, he reminded me of this. So at that moment, I was just like, the way they wrote William and Joan in season 1 makes you think that they will end up together at some point.
Ugh. Anyways,
but they really I didn't do the writing. I'm just saying the way they wrote it.
As I'm watching these first few seasons that we're gonna review, I was like, this is way too brother and sister for what they did in the future. That's just this.
Actually, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Every weird things that he says, she even makes little jokes at it.
Exactly. No, they're too similar.
No. That's the thing. It actually makes sense. I'm just like, girl, you out here trying to be with this and this and this, and I'm like, look at
you cannot be with Jelly and Jelly. This does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's disgusting. Girl, it doesn't.
I'm just saying. I was like,
once you see it, once you see that season,
I'm gonna see it.
You're gonna be like,
I can't wait to get there.
Why did they ever do that?
So I was like, I can't wait to watch it.
And also, because y'all ain't never seen Girlfriends. Spoiler alert. We probably should have said that earlier, but we are not holding back.
Okay, this is 2023. This show came out when?
No, it's not. Okay, we're just discussing the show. So anyways, so I said Davis was so fine, Tony. Oh, I have a comment about this. Okay. I feel like Tony was, in season 1, because she was taking so many digs at Maya, Tony was jealous of Maya.
Oh my God. Like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
I think she wants to have, Maya is, she's stable. She's confident in who she is. She's not. Tony is insecure. I don't care how much she tries to mask it with her materialness. Deep inside, she's insecure about her skin tone. She's insecure about her finances and where she's from, her class.
We don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that anti-blackness and anti-darker skinned people.
We gon'
because that was insane. I was like, you could tell this is not 2023 because
I love it. Like, listen. And I also wrote, William is so funny and always horny. He is. He's very horny. He's always horny.
Who?
William.
Who is it in the shows at 28 or 29?
Well, okay. I just find it funny that he keeps telling it to his friends.
What's her name? What's her name? Lynn is always too. So
she is, yeah, that's true. So I love Joan's awkwardness, and I had a comment on, there's this one episode, I don't know which episode it was, but Toni comes in and she bought Joan a gift. And Joan's like, oh my God, why you bought me these shoes? Because you know you've been wanting it. And it's like, oh. And she's like, well, you act like you don't expect me to buy you gifts. She's like, it's not that. I expect you to be wearing them. And she's like, oh, I was just trying them on first. And she's like, so she was wearing them. And I was like, so we're buying gifts and we're using them first?
That's hilarious.
I'm like, girl, okay, Toni.
That's hilarious.
Whatever.
But it's just like, it's like the dynamics between them is just like so interesting in like season 1. But I don't know, for some reason I focused on like Joan in season 1 because clearly she's the, like, I guess she's the lead.
They hadn't expanded well.
Yeah.
Not well. They hadn't expanded that much yet. It was really,
it was focused on Joan so much. So it's like, for me, I was trying to, it was Joan's approach to finding a man throughout the season and also like integrating the other relationships with the other cast members. And it's like, that one episode where Joan panicked when her men haven't been returning her calls for 3 days. And it's like 3 days
You're so ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to say 3 days is insane. But like,
how is that insane?
No, I'm saying 3 days without answering any calls.
Oh, okay.
Is insane. But I'm thinking at the time they didn't even have, like, it wasn't a thing where you could FaceTime. It wasn't a thing where we had text messages. Like, it wasn't as today, as it is today. But 3 days is insane, bro.
And Toni Braxton waited 7 whole days, as y'all know in that song, but 7 is too much, guys.
I'm just saying, I have to say this.
I agree, but I want to go there, but I have a few comments still. I feel, because we're going to get there in thematics, and y'all who know the show, we're going to get there. I feel like Toni is just as judgy, just as classist as Joan. It's just that she's more honest with it.
It's presented differently.
No, Joan is more hypocritical. She thinks that she's, it's like, she thinks she's, I'm not gonna say she's not a good person, but she thinks she does it in a good way. Because I'm trying to help you.
She does it better.
She thinks she does it better. But Toni is just gonna be like, that's ugly.
And Toni just will tell you, my taste is better than your taste.
Yeah.
And I am better.
And I am
that's
better
the difference.
than all of you, which is insane. There's a fight that happens in season 1 outside a club. Where I have questions about this. I have a question for you. Where Joan doesn't get in it to help Toni. And at this point, Toni and Maya aren't really getting along. They actually had a lot of beef during that episode, and who could get into the club, who can't get into the club, blah, blah, blah. But at some point, a girl kind of insults Toni and they start fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lynn and Maya jump in. Joan doesn't jump in. As her best friend.
I know, that was hilarious to me.
And Toni was upset. And she's like, even Maya, who, kind of hates me, had my back.
That was hilarious.
So what you think about that?
That was hilarious to me. And that just goes to show the rest of the relationship that we're going to discover in the rest of the season and the seasons after that. The relationship between... Joan doesn't... The reality is, they don't really love each other like that. They need each other. And that's completely different. And I think the more we go into the season, the more we're seeing it. But
you think they don't love each other?
I don't think... They need each other because they've been around each other and because they feel like they owe something to each other, which is also discussed at some point in therapy and stuff like that in further episodes. But I do feel like their love, that's not how you love a friend. That's not how you love... I could never love a friend the way they love each other. That is completely destructive. And if my friend... Somebody jumps at... Oh, we're fighting. No, we're fighting.
That's what I think.
We're fighting.
I think Joan is like...
We're fighting. And
but
Joan
also,
is
Joan is a lawyer.
I don't... Okay, I thought about this. She's a lawyer and she can't get involved with too many things because then she could get disbarred and stuff like that. I do get that. But I know that's not why she didn't get involved.
But instinct would have me like...
Oh, girl, I'm swinging. Or at least I'm like...
Yeah, we're we're doing something. Because she was really... Help! Joan. Girl. Okay.
Whoever, like...
Yeah, I wrote that. Codependent. Joan and Toni.
Oh, listen, I'm telling you, the more seasons advance, the more I was just like, who wrote this? Like, why did you even write a friendship that way? It just doesn't make sense. And if you have a friendship like that in your life, run. That is not your friend. I'm just saying, run.
I forgot to mention too in the jealousy part. Toni was jealous of Maya, but also because of the family and dynamic and everything. But she's also jealous of Maya because of Maya's closeness to Joan. She doesn't like Joan having this new friend. She didn't like adding it. Why are we adding her to the group? We already have a child. Lynn is our child. Like, no, it was really like, it's giving like, what is this and why? And Maya works with her, so she sees her all the time. She was jealous. She was possessive. That was my thought on that. Because there's no reason to hate this lady. Why are you just going in on her like this?
Awesome.
I don't know. Anyways, also the episode where she meets Marcus, I thought it's funny how far online dating came. Because they had like, well, not far, but then not far. Because it was so funny when they're at the restaurant and they each had their groups of people just in case the person was crazy.
What now we're just like, okay, so you need to send me his phone,
his
name, license plate or something.
Because I related to that. Because I was like, yeah, we've done that, like it's like, you can never be too careful.
Hey, for real.
But and we see why he was on online because of his big hips. What you think? I'm just saying. I don't know. The show is witty. The show is funny. I don't know. But the women are troubled as well. Because, like, we can talk about it. Toni's reaction to that dark-skinned man in that episode.
That man was gorgeous.
He was a
kid. Oh my God. And he came, and also, he had everything she wanted. He was rich. He had everything she wanted.
So it's not money first. Okay, but go ahead.
No, because that's what she's been saying. She wants a rich man. She wants somebody that can take care of her. She wants these things. The man pulls up with everything she needs. He's dressed pretty. Dressed good. The car, everything is good. And then you're gonna be like, it was too dark, yeah, bro. And it's like, and this one of the things where I'm like realizing also when you're watching shows that have been written like 10, 15 years ago, I think. When did this come out?
Early 2000s, 20 years.
Oh, so 20 years ago, and watching it now in 2023 and realizing it's like colorism has always been an issue, but like seeing it and that the way she was just like, like he's too dark when he has everything that you wanted. It's like, bro, like there's a deep, like the way you said that she's insecure, there's a deeper problem within Toni, but she also represents, I feel like, a lot of issues within certain people, the way they perceive Black people, and there's a limit to how Black you can be before it's a problem. You know
Toni
what I mean?
has some deep issues.
So like it's like
and issues with who she is as a person, like issues with where she comes from, like
of course.
Like so, my thing with that, and I'm not defending her, but I'm talking from a place of hurt.
But that's also just the first season, because then
this is first season.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
But I'm just gonna talk from a place of hurt in that when she explained to her friends, it's not that I hate my skin. I think I'm beautiful, but I'm already chocolate. Because like Maya said when she was talking about it, she's like, you ain't light bright your damn self.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
but
glad she said that.
I'm so happy she said that. But it's just like she's thinking about what she endured as a child. She said Joan called her skillet. And Joan was like, I didn't call you a skillet. I said, pass the skillet. And I'm sorry, that was funny to me. And she's like, no, you said pass the skillet. I was like, Joan, I don't know who's telling the truth. But anyways, so she's thinking about what she's endured as a child. Mm-hmm. And she's thinking, I'm this skin tone. Mm-hmm. If I marry and have children with this man, they're going to be darker than I am. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is where she's coming from. And it's still a wrong way of thinking. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely destructive. Mm-hmm. But I see where she's...
I'd say it was more acceptable to say that, even though it's not acceptable anyways, like 20 years ago, because it was also, if you look at the conversations that were being had at the time in media, like, I'm thinking about the Tyra Banks show, I'm thinking about a bunch of those shows where colorist questions were like talked about and people were discussing being dark skinned. I remember in France, like we used to say people were blue, and then when somebody was blue, that means you were so dark that you're like midnight blue, midnight blue, like black, the tone of your skin was kind of blue, and that's really fucked up. But back in like 20 years ago, even before that, these kind of conversations, people were talking like that, and it's really fucked up.
But I like that. You know what I like though is that even though this was 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, that her friends they weren't like, oh yeah, girl. They checked her.
They really checked her. And that's why I was just like, because when I saw that, I was just like, okay, no, that's fucked up. That is so fucked. Also, this man was beautiful.
He was beautiful. And like, girl, you got your rich right there. Like, come on, man. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like...
And then another conversation is like, why do we not want a nice guy? I just want to say, because, okay, Marcus
give her the ick.
Man, what
gave her the ick?
What gave
the Joan phone?
Okay, because he's too... Okay, il est trop attentionné.
Nikki, if a man pulls up, it gives you a phone, and he said, this is a Nikki phone.
Maybe he did a little too much, but overall, like... We like... So
the ick.
We like when niggas ignore us, don't return calls.
No, what I'm going to say is, the space from which Joan was dating... and is dating throughout season 1 does not come from a space where I'm trying to meet somebody I match with. It comes from a place of not wanting to be alone. It comes from a place of wanting to be in a relationship.
But then why wouldn't she stay with Marcus?
But that's the thing. It's like she's with Marcus and she's dating Marcus and it's nice to have a boyfriend. But deep down, it's not connected. Because you wouldn't get the ick from... Your man, if you love him, could be as corny as he wants. You're not going to find it corny. Or even if you find it corny, you'll find it kind of cute because you love him, because you're attracted to him, because there's something. If you're not any of those things, everything the man does is going to give you the ick. I know we've all been in situations like this, we've seen it.
Trust me, I'm a victim of the...
Girl, we've all done that.
I've, gotten the ick real quick.
And that's the thing, sometimes you have the ick, but you're like, oh, he's nice.
And you feel bad.
But you feel bad enough, he's nice, so you try.
And that's what
Oh girl, don't be saying this because if you watch this, the thing.
How would he know? How would they know? I'm just saying.
We're gonna cut this, you guys.
Why?
I'm just saying. It's like literally, there's nothing you can do once you get the ick. You get the ick, bro. There's nothing you can do. So it's like, why don't women like nice men? I feel like there's women that like nice men, but I feel like you need to meet a nice man that you match with. He cannot just be nice. His only quality can't be, but he's nice. Okay, he's nice, and so he's not doing anything for me. Like,
leave me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know I've explained some relationships in that way, but he's nice. Anyways, so yeah. Another topic I wanted to address. So Joan, at one point, she tries to look at her friend Maya in season 1 because her husband is a baggage handler at the airport, and she sees Darnell feeding somebody a woman a strawberry.
Of course, it has to be a strawberry because
of course. What else? Because also, but feeding a strawberry at lunchtime is insane. It's insane. What are we doing? Feeding? That's insane. What are we doing? Okay. But so Maya is like angry with her for telling her because she's like, I know my man, because Darnell defended himself. But he didn't really defend himself. He was just like...
It just said you're trusting your friend.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of people, that's what it was.
He deflected. Yeah. Because I don't understand why that was happening. Like, why are we at lunch at work? There's actually no context where it makes sense, but at lunch at work is insane. It's insane. And, whatever. Like... I feel like a lot of women do that thing where they get angry with the messenger, but...
Okay, but let's just say that this is the first iteration of us seeing Joan in her pattern of telling shit. And not shit in a bad way, but like, it's like she was being a friend, and I like that she actually told her. She was like, "Hey, this is what happened." No, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, but this is the first time in the show, I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm mistaken, where Joan goes ahead and starts talking about business. Gets into people's business. And I'm not saying that she did a bad job, because I feel like you need to tell your friend, like, if you have a man and I see you. First of all, also, I just want to say, I'm part of those people that if I see you, man, girl, there's a picture and a camera, there's a video in my phone, okay? So you cannot tell me you lied. I'm gonna be like, is this lying? Is this lying? You think this is a deep fake? You think I know this is that?
But they didn't have all of that like fancy camera.
I know they didn't, but I'm just saying. I think she did right in like doing that, but that's the first time Joe
Williams actually told her not to say. He's like, if you're not sure about what you saw, don't tell her. But I disagreed with William.
If you're not sure, that's the issue.
It was an appropriate period. Like,
no, I know.
Okay, you're not sure that he's having an affair, but you know that you saw something with your two eyeballs.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, so that's why I'm like...
I would say it. Especially I would say it. I would definitely say it, because who are you? What are you trying to do to my friend? You know what I mean? But...
I'm just saying, it was beautiful in a sense where I'm like, you went into this is my friend, I'm trying to protect her, but she went into my man said that he didn't do shit, so it is what it's gonna be. And it's like, this is one of those times where as a friend you also have to be like, you know what?
Yeah, she did her duty. And at this point,
maintenant c'est ton problème.
But Darnell caught himself up with that, because he got really defensive. And Maya circled back and was like, wait, I've known Darnell this amount of time. He's never felt the need to actually defend himself like this.
Also, shout out to first Darnell season 1. Flex Washington. You know? But I don't know. It's like
Flex Alexander.
Yeah. Also, can we touch on before you go back into the friendships? Mm-hmm. I really want to talk about Joan and her dating and what she's been doing, because she's doing too much. So when Joan is dating, what's his name?
Sean?
Sex addict.
We're going to Sean right now?
You want to go? You don't want to go to Sean right now?
I want to talk about the pregnancy scare first.
Who was that with?
Joan.
No, but who was that?
Marcus. We're still in Marcus.
Cool. Girl, I don't know. I didn't take
It's okay. So yeah, after that, whatever. Shout out to William for lying for Joan. He's a good friend. He even lies for her. Like, it's so sweet. I'm sorry. I like him as a friend, not as a boyfriend.
I'm just saying. They wrote him into a development to become at some point.
I didn't see it like that.
It's like, I don't, or maybe it's just because, girl, it's like, I've watched so many sitcoms and shows and stuff, and it's like, season 1, I watched it and I was like,
you saw them as like being a couple.
The way they wrote them is at some point they were
really.
I promise you, the way it is written, and that was before I Googled it. Because I was like, once I saw this, I was just like, hold on. Of course, I was like, Joan and Williams together. And then I saw they were, and I was just like, you see?
I'm sure you saw the opinion pieces about that where people thought it was...
Girl, I didn't read all this. I just wanted to confirm my hypothesis.
I can't wait to... So. Yo, Tola. Okay, so I really love the episode where Joan thinks she may be pregnant, because I love the way her friends come around her. It was a really good example of just the sisterhood they have, even though, like, yes, there's toxicity amongst these women. Sure. But the way that Joan was like, I may be pregnant with this guy that I don't even really like, and he may have, big hips dude, but she was freaking out, and they were like, we're gonna be a village around you. Like, William offered to be her baby daddy. Like, he was just like, he needs a...
And you mean to tell me that they did not write those two as being together at some point? This is insane.
It was very brother-sister.
The fact that you don't see it is crazy.
I don't see... I was just
the fact that you don't see this crazy.
If your baby needs a male figure in its life, I will be that. No, it wasn't in a sexual way.
It wasn't in a sexual way. That's not what I mean. What I mean is not it was in a sexual way. What I mean is they wrote William, and I feel like that's also why at some point, they're gonna get together.
I feel like you yell a lot.
It's fine. Okay. I'm just saying, it's really like, and you've been telling me this a lot, and I don't say nothing when you do it. So, basically, all I'm saying is the way they wrote him and the progression of things and the few similarities that they have and the way he's here for and the way he's always present. There's always a character that's always present and at some point that positions himself as
I think you're thinking of those regular sitcom tropes. But I just didn't get that from them.
It's literally a pattern that they've been doing. Like, that's how they write shows in the US. It's not my fault that they have the only 5 storylines that they do in this. It's not my fault.
I just feel like, okay, I know the writer, because it's like, okay, maybe it's because I don't want to spoil it. Because I know you didn't want.
It's maybe because you just didn't want it to happen because you just.
But it's also they have no actual chemistry.
It's fine.
So maybe even if the writers thought that and they got to that point in the series where they brought them together, even then when they were watching, they were like, okay, how do we break these guys up? Because this is
but that's the thing. That doesn't mean they have to end up together, like end game.
I'm not saying. Even what I just said, I disagree. I really think that they wrote them as friendship soulmates. Like, I do not think that they saw them as being in a relationship.
The way I interpreted it from season 1 is they are writing this character that will position it, that is in the group of women, that is a friend, that is always going to be there, and he's going to be with Joan at some point. That's how I saw it, and then I Googled it, and I was right, and I was like, okay, cool, going back to watching.
But you weren't, okay, you know what? Okay, because I feel like in those cases when it happens, it usually is, for example, I'm thinking of The Office.
I didn't watch The Office.
Well, give me an example of a show where it happens.
I don't know, it's just something,
whatever.
Can I have an intuition?
No, it's okay. I'm just saying, because like usually when it happens, it's like when they get together, these people are like, this is the end game. This is the end all be all.
For me, I didn't necessarily see it as end game. I just felt like at some point, I was just like, are they gonna end up together at some point? Anyways, we'll talk about it in another way.
Okay,
but yeah, you said when they rallied around her when she was
pregnancy
pregnant,
and she wasn't pregnant.
It was beautiful.
It was.
I feel like if you have a nice group of friends, that's how it should go.
It should.
And it was beautiful to see, and you know.
I didn't like also the pregnancy scared because I was just like, you haven't had sex in so long, but like you didn't. She's a paranoid person and she didn't check if the condom was on properly. I was like, that doesn't sound like her. It sounds out of character.
Maybe that's been a while. Maybe, you know.
I don't know. And this is why you can't just be sleeping with everybody, especially people you don't see yourself having kids with. I don't know how else to tell y'all. Also, I love the fashions. I love how Joan and Toni dress. I find them very fashionable. You don't like it?
I didn't. You know that's not what I pay attention to.
But they be dressing. Okay, can I say one of my favorite jokes from season 1? Okay. It was in the pregnancy episode, and Maya's comforting Joan when she's upset that the test said positively.
Okay.
Whatever.
Cool.
And Maya says, Joan, because she said, like, you know, I can't be a mother right now. I can't do this. And Maya says, Joan, you can be anything you want to be. And Joan says, no, I can't. What if I want to be a sofa? Can I be a sofa, Maya? Can I be a sofa? No, can I? I was like, can you be a sofa? That shit was so funny, the way she said it. I just, the comedic timing, I want to, yes. And actually, it would have been funny on its own, and then Lynn says, Joan, you don't want to be a sofa, look how much trouble you got in being a love seat. Just, come on. That's a great joke. Okay. That's a great joke! Okay. Where are we going? We're going to, you want to go to Thanksgiving episode?
Okay, so this is also, I think, the first time where we see that Joan is obsessed with holidays. And then it made me think of You for Christmas.
There's nothing wrong with loving Christmas.
I didn't say there was anything wrong. I just said the way she loves holidays reminded me of You for Christmas. Because you love Christmas and she loves holidays. That's it.
No, she's obsessed with holidays.
No.
Like, you know. Joan is, a problem. But I really wish that they got into this more. Like, I want to know if, like, why? Because, I mean, it's okay to love holidays. It's just, it's like,
I just want to, they should have done, like, some kind of, like...
Backstory?
Ooh,
I would have loved...
Or a flashback episode of when she was a child and, like, I don't know, with her family at Christmas.
Like the young Sheldon type stuff. I would have loved to see, like, a flashback of each of their childhoods. Like, just to see what they were like, honestly.
That would have been great.
But yeah, we see...
But we learn more about Lynn's childhood at some point.
We do.
Throughout the seasons, yeah.
Initially, her friends don't support her on the Thanksgiving episode. And this is one of the episodes for me that stood out because it was really how much her friends disregard her feelings in every way. It's Thanksgiving. They all were leaving. She was gonna...
I mean, obviously...
No, I get that.
Maya is married. And
but that's not where they disregarded her feelings. Because they all weren't even supposed to come. So she goes to her little restaurant there. The owner who flirts with her all the time, whatever, offers her, she has dinner, whatever. She's gonna go home.
Okay.
Then she meets up with this lawyer guy played by Dwayne Martin, who, I guess he's a famous lawyer or whatever, because she knew who he was. and they're like, oh, you want to spend Thanksgiving together? I guess they like each other, so they go home, and she's trying to have she said she knows how to fry a turkey, which she didn't know how to, but anything to get the man home. That is Joan. Joan will do whatever it takes to get the man. So he comes and she starts doing all this, and then one by one. So no, actually Davis came with them for some reason. Davis was there, but they were trying to hint to him that they want to be alone. As Davis is going, Maya comes in. Like she owns the place. Next, Lynn comes in. Tony, William, all of them end up at her house, even though they said they weren't going to be there.
Another good episode to show and establish the fact that Joan cannot stand up for herself.
They have no boundaries. Well, there's no boundaries.
Yeah, because she's inputting them. She could have just said, hey.
That's why we get to therapy later, but I was just like, girl, you want to be alone with your date? Just say it. Why are these people here?
Literally, this is your house. Just be like, yo.
And I think that's what the guy was trying to say, because he's like, girl, this is your home, right? It's like she has to it's like if she kicks them out, they're gonna hate her or something.
No, they're not. She's trying to him.
No, I know, but in her head.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, this is that's why I was saying this season was very good at putting in place the dynamics for every single person, particularly Joan, because I
didn't like it. I really didn't like that, because I was just like, they're just not even picking up, even though she's at fault too. But them not picking up on any cues, not caring, they're not caring
because she had never. I feel like this is also showing that she had never put any boundaries with them. So they're just behaving as usual, which is also, it's not good, but I'm just saying, it's just showing the relationship that she started with them.
Yeah, it's the habit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, where do you want to go next? You want to talk about Sean?
Yes. So Sean is a recovering sex addict. And pretty much they get together, and How
did they get together? Please, she stalked the man. No, because we need to, Joan. I wish, because I was so
very questionable ways of getting with men.
Because it was the list episode. They made a list.
Oh, true.
Of what they wanted, and we know well about the list.
That is a bad idea.
So, is it?
If it's too precise, if it's too precise, it is a bad idea.
I was like, was it? So one of them had, he will grease my scalp. I was like, my goodness, that's precise.
I know, but I felt it when she said it. I just felt it on my scalp. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So then they go to some art opening or gallery, and she meets him, and she's like, and he has off jump, he has the top 3 things on her list, and she basically stalks him around the whole exhibit, and he wasn't minding it, but he was he looked like he was cool enjoying the thing by himself.
She really was
she latched on.
You gonna call me? She really was
and he was and
that's what he
at the end, even when the thing was done, and she's she's looking at him you're not gonna ask for my number, and he's like, here's my card, and she's like, no, you should call me. She tries to control the interaction.
Everything. It's just
and I was like,
terrible.
oh. And in the meantime, at that same event, Toni runs into her ex. It's worth mentioning, who becomes a pivotal part of this season, Greg. And he's bartending at
Greg.
How
do I love Greg?
Greg, petty old thing.
But yeah, pretty much. Okay, so because I don't know how long this episode's gonna be. If we're going episode by episode, I'm just basically trying to say that Joan and Sean. Let's do a Joan and Sean situation.
Oh, before we go to sure.
Yeah. So pretty much, Joan and Sean is he's a recovering sex addict. I guess she controlled the way they got together, and there's a moment where he has to go for a work trip. I think for a couple of days. He has to go away.
He was in Toronto.
He was in Toronto. And pretty much she has been calling him, or his secretary or something.
She called the hotel.
Yeah, she called the hotel. He's not returning the calls, And, I guess she decided to explore connections during that time. That's how I wrote it in my notes, because, she decided to explore connections during that time because she was freaking out.
Well, a man that she's been wanting and that has been wanting her.
Exactly. So she decides to explore connections. What's his name again? Davis from the restaurant, which we love Davis.
We love Davis.
I love Davis. Okay.
Davis is engaged, just so you guys remember. And she has a new boyfriend.
Davis is engaged. She has a new boyfriend, but they have way more chemistry than she had with a bunch of other people. Anyways.
Okay, because I don't know where I wrote it, but I wrote. What I don't know where I wrote it, but why did the writers not make Joan and Davis happen?
Because they needed to keep Joan dysfunctional in season 1.
Davis was the guy.
Yeah, but Joan cannot be. If they solve the dysfunction too easy in season 1, that there's nothing to write about.
Okay,
you know?
man, and this is for those of y'all who have seen the show. They bring back so many exes in the future, and I'm like, why not him?
Maybe the actor wasn't available. They could have replaced him. But anyways,
Whatever.
but yeah, pretty much just like it's a whole thing where she's exploring that connection with Davis and kind of cheating, but I mean a kiss, but still
She cheated. I mean,
yeah, and it's like very interesting because Sean comes back and Davis is in the house, which is a very awkward moment that I lived for. Okay,
which was so funny because it's like, what is he doing here? And he's like, I was just gone for 3 days and you already got a new man here.
Yes.
Yes,
you didn't reply to me for 3 days.
So I thought we was done.
Exactly. And this is also goes to show how much she wants to be with somebody and she wants to get those calls and she wants to be
how would
wanted
you
and
have
she wants
felt?
to
Question.
I don't know what I felt the way. What you mean you're not answering me for 3 days?
If we're in a relationship and you don't, because for me his explanation was like, I was trying to surprise. That's stupid. You have to find another way to surprise me.
It's the most stupid thing.
Like you can't not communicate with somebody and think that they're gonna know that. Oh well, probably he's trying to surprise me.
It's insane, but I wouldn't go ahead and do all of that.
No, man, no, I don't. Because probably
no, with another man, I wouldn't for 3 days. No,
I might have a date. Because the reason why is because.
But after 3 days, you coming back and you're talking to me, and I'm looking at you like this.
Because who are you? Why are you just? You can't just not answer me.
Facts. Also, but different time, different generation. She had to call the hotel. We have these right now. People are on their phone 24/7. It's completely different, but also still not excusing the
That's
behavior.
what imagine too. Like he traveled. Like this is your man. Like you want to know, did you arrive safely? What's up? Like
yeah, you should call and be like, yeah, I arrived safely. I'm at the hotel. Da da da. Too, goes on about his business. I'm doing this tonight too.
That was a bad idea, Sean. Like I know he was trying to surprise her.
Bad. It was just bad. But I'm just saying, it's just Joan is just her relationship with men is kind of awkward, and it's like it goes the episode after. Like she's like, okay, I decided to have sex because she has this rule of, I think it's the 90-day rule, pretty much. Like, guys, Steve Harvey. Then she has the 90-day rule, and she's like, you know what? Nah, I think I'm ready. She wants to break the 3-month rule. She's like, I'm ready to have sex with this man, and she goes on and researches what she could do to actually make it spicy with him. Because I guess he's a sex addict and she's trying to be...
Oh, because she was trying to prep.
She was trying to prep, so she's trying to... But he ended up being me, and she's trying to do this, he's trying to do this. And I'm like, ma'am, you're doing too much.
It was so... I love when Joan tries to be sexy. It is the funniest
most
part
awkward stuff
of the show.
And it's like, I'm awkward, but she's worse than me.
She's worse, yeah. She came in with that lingerie. Sean was like, are you okay? Like, are you...
Because she was just...
Are you having... And he was like, I was trying to be sexy. Oh, he's like, wait, go back, do it again. I was like, oh my God, Joan, please.
It was the most awkward thing I had seen in my life.
And then he ended up being whack. She thought she hyped him up all this and he was bad. And then brings up a topic where she kind of had to explain to him how to make love to her. And a lot of people shy away from this in their couples with their partners.
Here's what I'm gonna say. Sex cannot be great necessarily on the first try. Sometimes it is. Shout out to the people that get that on first try because okay? Sometimes y'all just be compatible. And it's beautiful. But sometimes you also have to explain things to people. And let's not be like, no, I don't want to explain. You think people can read minds? You think everybody has the same body? No. People
be embarrassed.
Okay. Listen, if you want to get yours, you need to explain how to get it. Some people just don't know. And also, it's not necessarily, just be gentle with it. Just don't be like, do this. It's just like, oh, maybe if you do it a bit more like this, or maybe I like that. Try to communicate. If you're gentle,
I find that men, in my opinion, they're always sensitive about it. Like, even when you're gentle,
but when they're
it's
ready
like,
to listen, girl,
they're just like, oh, well, I never had any complaints. Like, nobody ever told me. Yeah, well,
girl, I didn't have that problem. Don't tell me you never had any complaints, because I will complain. Now you said that, I'm going to complain. Yeah, that's to see. But anyways, all I have to say there, it's a very good topic that you brought up, and I feel like people need to be more open about.
They should. But she ended up molding him the way she needed to.
But see, but that's the thing, and it's like this whole interaction, this whole moment where she's with Sean and she's flirting with Davis and she's doing all of this. There's a moment where all the women are together at Joan's house and they're all complaining and sharing men problem that they're having, right? And what's very interesting is like when it's Joan's turn, she's like, yeah, and da-da-da-da-da with Sean, and he got mad because he said I'm flirting with Davis, and everybody's just
like,
went quiet. Everybody just went quiet.
Because everybody had actual problems, and it's like, girl, but you...
Exactly.
You are flirting with
And I like that they held her accountable for that specific thing. I was just like, yeah, and also she lied. Because she told Sean nothing happened, but they actually kissed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, girl, you gotta lie. But because I understood why she lied. I'm not saying that I would... First of all, I wouldn't have been kissing nobody new in 3D. I might have went on a date, but I wouldn't have been kissing nobody.
I'm just saying, if you lie, you have to lie and take that shit to your grave. That's... Because the only thing, you're only making yourself feel better. You're not making the other person feel better.
And we saw what happened with that. So, okay, but we're going couple back. So we're talking about Brian Darnell after.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so are we still doing, what else happened with them? So they, so there's also the episode where she absolutely needs him to say I love you at this point.
Oh my God, she's so annoying. I'm sorry.
She was like, because he ends up finding out that he has to, their relationship was going pretty decently, you know. I thought they were cute enough, you know what I mean? But he finds out that he's gonna get this big opportunity in New York. And she wasn't immediately supportive. And it also reminded me that she wasn't supportive when, well, I don't know if she wasn't supportive, but there was an episode where Maya was in the hospital for something. And he needed her to be there for a job opportunity, for a job, yeah. And it's good if you have somebody by your side that's like a stable partner, especially because they know of his past addiction and things like that. And she stayed with Maya instead of, he said he ended up losing the job or whatever. Hey, my friend is in the hospital. So that was my thing, because like I wasn't sure if it was like more like, okay, she didn't support him, or it's more like, but Maya needed her as well. I don't know how she could have. I'm sorry, it's like a job opportunity. I get it. I know you need it. I know you're my man, but my friend is in the hospital, bro. Which I love that. My friends too, how they rallied around Maya. True, but I don't like how that whole Joan integration was made with that, because she was being too wishy-washy with the I'm gonna be there, I'm not gonna be there. What? I didn't like how Joan inserted, like, it was just weird. How? She was trying, no, at first it was just like, she was not gonna stay. She wasn't gonna stay. It's only because Maya was like, and she didn't have to stay. The surgery was the next day. I know, I feel you, but I'm just because I was like, why does she need her here now? If I told you. Where's your husband? Look, here's my thing, right? If I told, but I guess that's how I am with, especially if it's close friends. If I told you I'm going to be there because maybe you're scared of the hospital, because maybe there's a conversation we've had and there's something like this, if I told you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If there's something else that inserts itself, even if it's my man, if somebody is with me, this person is going to understand the importance of certain relationships that I have with my friends. And if I tell you my friend is in the hospital and I need to be there, you know that my friend is in the hospital and I need to be there. Do she need to be there for her men? Yes. But anyways, that whole situation with Sean is also... But I agree with you, because I believe that had there not been anything, like, she should have been there for Maya because Maya requested it. I just feel like she was in a very tough position where she's in a new relationship. Yeah. And she was also asked something by somebody else that she cares about and she's trying to build a future with. I get it. So it's like, and she was gonna try and split herself into two. She's like, I'm still gonna go see Maya and make sure she's checked in okay. And then I'm gonna go to the dinner and I'm gonna be back here tomorrow for your surgery. But see, and that's another point where Joan has problems talking, because she went to see Maya and be like, Maya, your surgery's tomorrow. This such and such, I know I said I was going to be there tonight. I'm just going to pass by, say hi, make sure that everything is good. Then I'm going to go to the dinner. I'll come back after if the nurses let me in. And if not, I'll be there tomorrow when you wake up. That's what I would have done. If you want to split your time, then you communicate with your friend. But she let Lynn guilt trip her because Lynn was feeling jealous that Sean is now in Joan's life and she's not the child anymore. Because like Lynn is used to getting all the Joan's attention. Joan was... Sean. But you know how people be my man when they get a new man, like she hasn't had a man in like how long? Girl. So say last like my man. I know for sure. It's my man for sure. And I feel like her friends like, because if it was Toni, they wouldn't have told her nothing. But because it's Joan and they're used to having her be available for them at every second, they can't accept it. I didn't like it. True, but that's the thing. It's when you build a certain behavior, a certain thing with people, and they have that interaction with you all the time. If you decide to act a different way, they don't understand it.
That is the thing, because the pattern that you've been given for I don't know how many years is not what you're doing is out of character, and it's like, why are you doing this? Like, what is wrong with you? So that's also the thing. But anyways, let's not even finish the Sean thing, because there's a Toni insertion with Sean at some point that I do want to talk about.
Right now?
No, not now. But let's keep it for
who you want to. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's leave it at he says I love you in the episode where he also tells her he's moving to New York for something. So, anyways, there's Maya and Darnell, who we meet in this season as well, obviously, and they actually. From the beginning, their marriage was a little. I mean, we saw he was feeding people strawberries. I don't know, and somebody was feeding him strawberries or whatever. They got married young. They have a 7-year-old, I guess, at this point. Jabari, and they're also to get back to each other. They decide to have a vow renewal, which was interesting. We also met Maya's mother. We met some of her family. We see Maya's dynamic is very
healthy.
Yes, healthy, but also very different from the other ladies too. Yeah. She has a different type of support system in her life, and she's the only one, obviously, with her own family. The vow renewal episode, obviously, we see a lot of the dynamics between her family, how she was raised, and Joan.
And that's where you see Joan being judgmental. What you were saying earlier, that Joan thinks what she does is better because I'm helping you, but it's better, and it was. That whole episode was...
It was heavy, but one thing I say about Joan is, like, every time she F's up, she does come back around real quick. She owns her mistake, unlike some people on this show. She owns her mistake, and she's reasonable. Like, you can make her see reason. Some people are not reasonable on this show. And she came around, and Maya forgave her. We also saw a little bit of the beginning of Darnell not really liking Joan, obviously because Joan...
Maya has a big heart. That's what I would say, because I would not have let
You
Joan...
would not have let her what?
Oh, fuck no.
Really?
No.
Even after the apology?
Because here's the thing. Everything that Joan was doing was trying to put her vision of what a marriage or wedding should look like onto Maya, which...
No, her vision of what...
Of what her... That's what I'm saying, what her wedding should look like. Onto Maya's wedding, and basically when she saw the dresses, you could tell like she was looking at the dresses like it's tacky, that's not what you want. Like the cake, no, that's not what you want. That's not what you want. Pretty much, like, and that's also the rift between the two in terms of where they're from and like the level of finances that they each have, and we're literally completely different socially speaking. And that was really on some like, this is tasteless. And it was very judgmental, and I don't care about none of your apology. It's like, cool, but you ain't walking in my wedding because you didn't like that dress, because you didn't like my mom worked on that dress for you. I wanted to include you because I value you, and then you you basically shitting on everything that I like, on everything that is important to me. And I would not let her walk.
So okay, it's your comprend, and because I have to play devil's advocate,
it's just because she's nice.
Well, I think Maya could get into it when she needs to get into it. And I think if she felt like, I think that when it comes to that situation, we saw that everything that Joan was saying had nothing to do with Maya, and it had nothing to do with the items that she chose. It was her trying to create, even the wedding being at her house, at Joan's house. Like, she was just creating her own wedding, and that's what her friends checked her on after. It's like, girl, you are not the one that is getting married. This is Maya's wedding. So it wasn't even that she probably didn't like those, but she didn't like those for herself. Once she had to get into her mind, like, wait, this is Maya's wedding?
I know.
Then she was able to be the supportive friend. But that's why I would have...
But she was the supportive friend once they threw her out of the thing. I don't think she would have even realized it until somebody was like...
Of course. No, somebody has to check her.
So that's why
Joan needs to be checked all the time.
Yeah, that's a problem.
She needs to be checked. She needs therapy. And, well, okay. Is there?
We need to do Toni, because Toni is messy.
So Toni this season, she's messy. Oh, she even had an episode where she was sleeping with a married man. Well, it wasn't a married man, but Joan was the one sleeping with the married man. But either way, there was a little thing I didn't like about that, where she was like, she thought she was sleeping with a married man, and when the wife of that man caught on to their scent, she started sleeping with this man at Joan's house. And my thing was like, so this woman wants to beat you up. So you're gonna put your best friend in the line of danger.
But I already told you they don't love each other.
But I felt like that was insane. Yeah. You're just gonna go to Joel's house. She's like, not a hotel. That's like, no.
I'm telling you, establishing again the dynamics between each of them. Maya does not care about anybody else.
Toni.
Toni doesn't care about
herself, truly.
About herself.
So she ends up meeting her ex again, and they get back together. But she didn't like him because
he don't have no
he
money.
has no money. He's a struggling artist, but he has great Disney.
I mean,
that's what.
Wait, did you just little scrap? I'm sorry.
But I mean,
wow.
yeah. So he has that going for him, and she loves him.
Yeah, she loves him.
She has that passion with him, but she cannot get past the fact that he's broke, and he kind of is a little comfortable with being broke because she be trying to help him. She's like, hey, I got them to hang your pictures at the restaurant. He's like, oh no, that's for street art. Bro, you don't have the space to be talking about this is for, you need money. Like,
true, but it's not because they were hanging at the restaurant that he got money. So let's be honest.
No, they're paying him to
they were paying,
but he was like, no, because he didn't. I get it, your artistic value, but when you have,
I feel like also dealing with artists, it's like you have to the same way when we talked about certain things, like maybe like other shows like what's it called? Not Married at First Sight. What's the other one? Love is Blind, or one of those like The Ultimatum, and you were like Roxanne was pushing her man a little bit too harsh. Yeah. Toni was pushing him a little bit too harsh because she wanted him to be something that he's not.
Yes, she wanted trying to make him into the husband she wants.
Exactly, and that's also the thing, and especially with artists and stuff like that, you have to let people go through their process. It is important for them to go through the process by themselves so they can you can help out, obviously, but she was just pushing.
But he tried. I feel like he tried to change himself for her. He was.
That's never a good thing.
No, at all. He wore the clothes she bought. When he sold his first painting, he rebought the beautiful duvet that he spilled paint on. All of those things. He did try. However, Toni, for all the efforts that Greg put in, repaid this man by cheating with a rich guy with Maya's doctor.
That bought a painting. No, that bought a painting.
Dr. Clay and how he was balling. Dr. Spencer was like, listen, baby, I'm so confident I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna buy your little boyfriend's painting. Because he was just like, how much? Oh, 5,000. Put that right there. I was like, and Greg was like, excuse me, no, I don't sell 5. Yeah, let me load it up for you. What you mean? Like, Dr. Spencer was not, I feel like he saw something that he wanted.
And he went for it. I am mad at that.
But Toni, you the one in the relationship, child. That was so trifling.
Especially
you the one that chased Greg. You got Greg. You called around to find out
where
Greg
Greg working on himself for you, girl. And the doctor won't propose to you. You gonna say yes?
Not even that. Here's the trifling part. She slept with Clay and then went home and slept with Greg. I was like, Toni.
She didn't want to at first.
She didn't want to.
She tried to pick a fight, but it didn't work.
She didn't want to, but I was like, you have to be quicker than that, girl. You gotta at least say, girl, can we do it in the shower? Like, that was you nasty.
And also, I just want to say, but it's like, yeah, because I was just like, there's no way he's not smelling this smell cologne all over her. That's the first thing I thought about. I was like, girl, take a shower.
Ew.
But that's the thing.
And he said, I want you all musty. I was like, you don't want that much.
I was like, not that much. No,
you don't want that much.
But see, that's the thing. It's like, so basically the doctor proposes to Toni.
Which? The chlamydia.
Oh, well, yeah.
She caught an STI.
She caught an STI. Okay. She went to Greg talking about I had chlamydia when she knows the doctor gave her chlamydia.
She didn't know, but
girl, she knows. She knows Greg didn't do that. She was just trying to be.
But why did she tell him?
Because she really ain't shit.
She should have just took the pills and. Because then now he's already suspecting if I went and I don't have it.
But even if she take the pill, if they continue to have sex, like he could give it to her again. Bref. But
she had to tell him because she needs to go get tested.
Exactly, he needs to go get tested. But pretty much the thing is, so she gets all the STI situation. She gets proposed to by the doctor. She says yes, because obviously it's a nice ring, he's rich, and she wants a rich man. The girls read her. They like, because the first thing she's like, oh my God, I'm engaged. Everybody's like, oh my God,
how did
Greg afford the ring? And she's like, oh, it's not Greg. So everybody's looking at her like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, he's a doctor, da-da-da. So obviously Joan is like, you're going to regret this. Don't do this. You love Greg, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Joan with her big mouth. That's the first, that's.
Woo! Well, so
this is
Greg
where
comes over to.
This is where the friendship really, for me, needed to go to finish.
Really? Okay.
Done.
So Greg comes over to Joan's house for a reason I can't remember. He wanted her advice on something.
Yeah, for something.
And he's just like, blah 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 blah. What do you think? You know, I'm messed up about this, and she's like, you shouldn't feel guilty. You're not the one that was cheating on her and whatever. So she literally exposes Tony. He's like, what cheating? What are you talking about? Engaged? Like she's engaged? And she was like, she didn't even have the decency to tell you why she broke up with you. And Greg is like, she didn't break up with me. And Joey's like, oh my God. And now she done messed up. So Greg, what he does next scene, you know, he meets up with Toni, bang, bang, this is done. Tony's like, what the hell? Because she went deep inside herself and figured out,
she wanted to pick Greg.
Yeah, let me not be a shallow bee, and let me go with the guy that I actually love. And that's what she was going to tell him. And finalement, he just breaks up with her, and she has no idea why at that point. So this is where we are now. Toni in a deep depression. Her friend's trying to get her out of it, singing "Come On, Get Happy," which Joan in guilt because now. So she tells Maya and Lynn like, "Yo, like guys, I messed up. Like this is what I did." Maya and Lynn are like, honestly, normally I'd be like, tell the truth, but this you gotta take to your grave. Like just don't ever say anything.
But see, that's the thing. It's
I
like,
don't agree with that though.
I don't agree.
She should have
Joan should have went to talk to Toni right away and just be like, girl, I messed up. Yeah, she should have just been like, she should have called her or something and be like, girl, I messed up.
Girl, like right when he left, girl, but my bad. I actually came over. I thought you had already broken up with, because that's what you said.
That's literally what she should have done. I was just
because when you came, you're like, I'm about to break up with Greg because
instead she just tried to throw men at Toni. That's what she tried. Right. She was just like,
brings her to Jamaica. They all go to Jamaica, and she's like, she basically thinks maybe like if she gets a new man, she's gonna forget about this, and then you know she'll be happy or whatever. So they go to Jamaica. She meets this successful athlete. Toni decides that she's gonna marry him.
Of course, because she at this point
she's like, at this point I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. He's rich and he's ready to settle down. Whatever. So they go back to the hotel room and she tells him she's about to get married. And Joan here realizes that now she has to say something because it's like she cannot let Toni just get married to some stranger because of this. So she says, hey, like I'm the one that basically told Greg about this.
And the scene after that, it was beautiful. That was deserved. That was deserved.
Oh, the slap?
She deserved the slap.
I don't know.
Listen, she told the men that what Toni did, which is, I mean, it's karma, but still, you know what I mean? After that, she didn't tell Toni anything, and she tried to throw men at her, brought her to Jamaica, lied to her the whole time. Your friend is depressed, and the only reason why you are telling her this is because she said she's gonna marry a stranger, so you were never gonna tell her in the first place. So, of course, Toni lost it. Of course,
yeah, she snapped. But I think
Toni also deserves a slap. I feel like they should have.
I think the slap was okay. Like not okay. It was just like I understand it. I don't think Joan deserved the slap.
I think they both deserve to be slapped. Both of them.
I don't agree with violence.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? I'm not a big like.
I feel you.
Hitter. I don't hit. I use my words. You know, I would have called her a few chosen words, but. You know, so that's, you know, and then, you know, party's over, vacation's over. Side story, Lynn is in love with some island boy that she meets, and even Joan she's like, I don't have time for this. I can't.
I think, but that's also a point. It's always, in that first season, she was like, or I don't know, at some point she mentions that everybody makes a big thing about everybody else being in love, but when it's her, nobody gives a shit. True. And so that's also one of the things that they really showed in that season 1 is the fact that her emotions and everything goes after everyone else.
Yeah, you're right.
So I feel like also,
but I think they don't respect her.
They don't respect her because she don't have a job. They don't respect her because she lives at other people's houses. So I think that's the thing. And William, I guess, is in
William
Jamaica.
was with Yvonne. So William and Yvonne, he met a cop. She's a little crazy. They kind of match each other's crazy. He wants her to quit the force because she got shot.
She didn't want to quit the shot.
I did not like him trying to. He pulled an ultimatum on her, like you have to do this in order for us. And so she did it, but she was going against her true wishes. That's basically. But he goes to Jamaica, wins her back, they get engaged. That's basically.
He was like, "Would you quit the force for your husband?" And then proposes.
Right. That's how that ended for them. But when they go back to season 1 ends with them arriving back in
that's how it ends.
LA, yeah. In LA, and Joan walks into her house and Sean is there.
Oh yeah.
Half naked. And what's her face? Toni is lying down in her skivvies, okay? Her little underwear on the couch. it ends like that, implying that who knows what happened. And then this is
the end. So pretty much implying that Joan slept with Sean, which is crazy payback. Bro, it's crazy. But the way it was spicy, I wanted popcorn.
Girl, it was like pebble, grenade.
Listen,
girl.
I was just like, there's no and finishing this season. I was just like, so somebody really sat in a writer's room with a bunch of other people and they wrote that dysfunctional ass friendship.
Somebody in that writer's room has a friendship like this.
I was like, yeah, friendships like this is because this is not friendship. And this is
Could you imagine? Like, first of all, I can't even, you're trying to sleep with my nigga. That's in
my house.
Insane.
In my house.
I don't even know what I would do. I think I would have to kill somebody.
In my house.
Because what are you doing?
Because in my house.
Because in my home?
No, but in my house.
That's insane.
Bon.
Toni!
Anyways.
Antoinette Marie Charles.
So pretty much, I would say that from the beginning to the end, the setup of the relationships with each and every character is really very clear as to who is going to be doing what, etc., etc. And the emphasis, basically the climax of the end of season 1 is really going to show the development in season 2, because they're going to focus a lot on Toni's and Joan's relationship on season 2. Mm-hmm. And I do think that we'll talk about it. There's a whole therapy situation. I feel like even the therapists don't understand. So
overall, season 1 is a great setup for the series.
It's a great
season. I also want to say that it really, even though they switched the character in this next season, it also shows a little bit of Darnell's controlling side. Because after Maya's surgery, I know she was avoiding sex with him, but he was a little obsessive about it, and it was giving annoying. Like, for me, it was giving annoying. Because it's like, can you wait? Because I've been doing this
it's also because she waxed.
Yo, when she got that wax,
she got a Brazilian wax, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm good. He was like, where the rest? He was like, where the rest?
Where's my hair?
And anyway, shout out to men that don't mind hair. You know what I mean? But like, can she get a Brazilian from time to time? Like, come on.
Okay, so
pretty much, let me rate this season.
Yeah, rate it.
I'm gonna rate this season. I will give it, and it's just because I'm purely annoyed at the relationship between the two. I would give it a 7.5 at the start of the season. It's pretty good. Did a good job at like establishing relationships and everything. I do feel like I would have loved to see a bit more development on Lynn. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm giving it a 7.5, because I feel like they really went all in on Joan. Because it was Joan and her relationship, Joan and her man, Joan and her friend.
Toni.
And Joan and Toni also more towards
Joan and Maya.
But I feel like Lynn didn't really... I feel like it was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And they wrote her really as a... So that's why I'm giving it a 7.5.
Is a secondary character in season 1, and she's comic relief.
Exactly, because even William is written better than Lynn.
Yeah, he has a whole arc relationship.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying I feel like that's why I'm giving it 7.5. I did give Lynn a bit more love and affection. I feel like it would have been like a good 8.5 for me.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my rating, but before we go, I'm gonna give one of my other favorite jokes of season 1. Okay. This is an episode where this is actually a Lynn episode where they do an intervention on Lynn because she needs to get a job. And Joan, being the enabler that she does, ends up being the one to give Lynn a job that's working basically her weeds in her backyard or whatever.
That's hilarious.
And then eventually they had to intervene Joan for her enabling. So during the intervention, they're like, she's like, why did you do that, Lynn, or whatever? And like Lynn is like, I was hurt. That's what hurt people do. And Toni was like, now if we only could get you to understand what working people do.
That was hilarious.
I was like, Toni.
Because Toni has little comebacks about Maya too. Maya with the comebacks.
Like, child.
Okay, but
my overall.
So your rating.
My rating this season, I actually agree with you. 7.5 out of 10, I will give it.
Okay.
I think that this was a very solid start to the series.
It was.
It establishes a lot of mess. It establishes some confusion. You're like, these women, what is wrong with them? Like, what? Guess what? And I think it's
not the Montreal Guess what?
and it's comedic. It's funny. I also didn't like how Lynn was like an afterthought.
Yeah, it was really like... Okay, so now that we've done this, before we let you guys go...
We're not doing a villain for
That's what I was gonna... Wow.
Moi, je ne sais pas, excuse-moi. We're gonna get better at this.
Okay, so pretty much, before we let you guys go, we're gonna do who's the show villain versus who we think is the real villain. So for me, the show villain... Season 1, show villain is clearly, and I'm gonna divide it in two, okay? Show villain for overall things, overall relationships is Joan, because she's terrible with herself, even, and with people. And for actual friendship, show villain is Toni, 100%, 100. Look, okay. But the real villain for me, the real villain, yeah, Toni needs to go. She didn't even need to be in season 2.
So wait, who's the show villain? Who's the real villain?
Because it's two thematics. It's like relationships and okay. If I'm doing overall, let me do overall. It will be Toni. The show villain is Toni. And I want to say that the real villain is Joan, but I think they're equally fucked up, but in different ways. But at the same time, you could also go reverse and say the show villain is Joan, but the real villain is Toni.
So far,
and so for me, it's just
for me. Show villain is Toni. Real villain is Toni. Yeah, both of them is Toni. So far for me. Season 1, yeah. Toni, it's Toni.
Yeah, no, Toni's so toxic, bro. But Joan is so toxic, bro.
But I can't.
No, I can't either, because she was toxic from the beginning. You're right.
From episode 1 to episode 22.
You're right. But Joan is problematic.
Oh, blame.
You know what? You're right. Real villain, show villain, Toni. Let me put a little thing to say that Joan, Joan is problematic. And that's the thing. Is,
I have thoughts about
me personally,
another character.
Me personally, I wouldn't want to be friends with either
people
me neither. Like that.
Because they're
either of them crazy.
Ça va pas. They're a little like it almost feels like they would be very on you as a friend. It's like give me my space. Like it's like they need to be like it's weird. That's why they're always fighting. Maybe William is right. Maybe they do want each other. Because he keeps saying that. Anyways, that's all we got for season 1. Hopefully you guys liked it. Rate, subscribe. We don't rate. Subscribe.
Subscribe, comment, all of this,
share.
You know.
Yeah.
And pretty much we're gonna be doing season 2, 3, and so on. And hopefully you guys like it. And send us recommendations for other shows that we could be reviewing.
Oh yeah, we have some stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.